there's such a chance that they end up just dumping and not being able to maintain that ult advantage.
It was more of a scout there just to see what it is they were coming up against in case they needed to pull back and change over. Most teams do that with Sombra, but on Blizzard boards you get that long sight line down the middle. You can generally catch at least 3 of the enemy heroes going on. Switch over to the Zarya, now we're going for Goats versus Goats.
So they aren't even starting Moira anymore. It seems like these teams have both adapted to playing the Zens. France was trying to hold close. They're looking for information, looking for a good path.
Missed his stun there on that charge, and there a crucial cooldown that's now on for them soon. Could have stepped forward and gone for his own, but was down at about half health, so still waiting for those to come off cooldown before they find the go. There's Christopher being stunned up, not dropped quite low enough to get the kill though. He's getting battered around the middle of the team here. Down he goes.
Seems like he overcommitted here, where he wanted to go for something aggressive, so you can see he gets the ult charge advantage because there's more members of France playing here on the front line. So Ben's usually only getting to swing into 1 or 2 people, and then Christopher's getting to swing into like 2 or 3. So he's getting more value, and his Fire Strike actually gets some value as well. But he gets discorded and bursted here is the problem, where it seems like France is like splitting their damage better, and you want to be splitting your damage on your team so you have chance to like sustain in these fights. So Soon's able to like get orb on him, he's able to walk up and swing. If Christopher is low, then Mikey A has to walk up and swing, but that means that Christopher will not get the same sustain. Wins was also able to boop him away. Being able to land your primary fire on Lucio into discorded targets is actually super important here, because there's like very specific timing windows that you have, and you need to really make use of them, because you can get people low and they won't be able to heal through it. Spoko opens with grab. They do this a lot. He has the high energy now, and they have trance to save him. Soon gets himself killed, but we can see Poco is already at 50% ult charge. He just builds this very, very quickly. So we can see he trances. He gets so much. Like, the grab's ended. He right clicks. 14%, 20%. Another right click. He just is instantly building his ult charge up. They use this too late. They use both ults too late. This is where you've been. You don't use anything here, and you come back with the ult economy advantage, because UK used 4 ults here. You don't care about the point anymore if you're France. You can come back, you can speed, you can hold really close, and really reset them over and over again using your support ult super aggressively. So, pretty big misplay from France. They can end up really punishing themselves with what they did. They still end up doing this, though, where they end up running to the door, because they want to be holding as close as possible and get as many fights as possible. They end up like taking the fight right here, but because they don't have the support ult advantage anymore, it's actually more difficult for them. Because you give the Zen a chance, so France has to walk up, and they're trying to get charged for Poco. That's exactly what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to like section someone off, allow Poco to get some ult charge, allow him to get some energy before they can actually engage with this fight. But the problem is UK will now get a chance to have their Zen orb on someone at all times, so Harmony's always healing someone, and then give Boombox a chance to build his ult up. Cruz had to walk up there. He was isolated, and so his only way to live from the D.Va bomb was to walk up. It's a bit unfortunate, but
Christopher there, sorry, for a bit of an extra stagger. Will get him picked out. They'll even find Kib as well, which is just going to offset the UK for even longer whilst they wait to regroup. Ult's currently favouring somewhat towards the UK, although France
the ult economy is basically just Zarya and Zen just like fighting to outpace each other. The Rhines are just here and there. The Rhines don't actually get to carry as much because they don't get to swing as often. And then the Divas are a lot of times using their bombs to like force people into positions where then they can be discorded and chased.
It's all about Poco I'm looking for here. There we go, straight into the corner, catches a few on the payload itself, but immediately Boombox is in there with the timely transcendence to make sure they can carry on. Those two will just cancel each
Poco uses Grav very often first in these fights.
other out for now, but it does
Then there's this poking stage afterwards where the UK is now, okay, we have to heal up.
available for France.
Boombox just used trance, but Poco is always outpacing him.
Relying on a Brigitte stun into the Earthshadow from Ben Best to win this next fight.
Speaking of Earthshadows, Kristen's got one as well. Mind games. Ahoy, he's going to do it, but Chris hasn't got the shield to hold it down. They're going to use the Graviton Surge early.
They grab Rance trances,
Shatter, blocked out by Christopher. No answer. He wants to use his own, but he's locked up. He's got the sound barrier for it.
but Poco's outpacing.
A huge shatter onto the back line of France. He's going to go in with the charge and lead UK on the assault, but he's stunned up.
Poco has his grab again. UK doesn't have trance to match it, and they win.
And here comes that counter-attack from France.
They keep doing it over and over again. This is their system. Works really well whenever you have a Zarya that like is better than the other one, so you can just always have more ult charge. But
Frequently beating him. And I was speaking to Immortal from Team Germany earlier on, and he was saying one thing a lot of people don't pay attention
it'll be
to.
interesting to see what other teams do against this.
They are everything. Your tank plays with confidence when he knows he has got a solid Brigitte by his side. And I've got to say at the minute, Soon is definitely making himself more noticed than Mikey A is. Got to see
Again here at the start of the fight,
is the Brigitte. They are everything. Your tank
whenever they start to walk out like this, whenever the UK members are taking poke and they're walking out like this is exactly what France wants, because they can throw Diva Bomb somewhere out here in the open, and if any members walk like across this plane, then a lot of times they're going to get split. They're going to have to like go alone, and then the rest of the members are going to be grouped behind, and they can look to cut them off.
confidence when he knows he has got a solid Brigitte by his side. And I've got to say at the minute, Soon is definitely making
It's throwing the members have to like go from every which direction.
coming out of the UK side, or they might find themselves halted here at the first point.
Problem is Ben walks too far up, but they use trance for it, which is good for France.
You've already blown his transcendence to keep everyone alive, and Boombox follows up where D-Mech going to kill onto Soon. Boombox is going to finish it off again. Poco going to end his reign of terror. There's multiple members of the French.
Poco just gets so much ult charge, even in these like scrappy fights.
This chokehold that the French have built for themselves, but they can just take out that cheeky little wins up in the rafters.
It's not like the top of this ramp is a super solid defensive angle for the defensive team to take as well because of the spawn distance too. Down here where the payload is heading now is
Cruz should be feeding this ult charge to Smack. Smack should just get off and give it all to Boombox.
confidence and domination over
They need to
the
be able to outpace them.
positioning. They had all the tools they needed to hold them there for a solid few minutes. That now
Oh,
leaves
this
only
grab
one
from
point
Kib
for
is
UK to get to this second point.
just really meh.
He's got a grab on Surge. Gonna put it in. It's easy. Oh, he has to use
I don't know why he doesn't just hide. Like, he has no threat right now. I know he's trying to bait the Matrix out, but if you're behind them and they don't know where you are, there's no reason to like show yourself. You're actually no threat right now, so they're not going to feel threatened to use Matrix if you're really low energy. And then at the same time, you have the advantage. You can hide. You can shoot your grab in this corner here, and grab 2 or 3 people, and then that'll net you the fight win. But he goes
For the UK to get to this second point.
for a really weird play because he peeks, basically gives himself away. Now the Diva knows where you are.
It's easy. Oh, he has to use it yet. Oh, it's still gonna
Yeah,
get
I don't like it.
Caught it a little bit too early. A little bit of a premonition going in. Self-destruct onto the back.
They also want the fast fight resets. Like France or UK doesn't want to give France any opportunity to have Poco reset his ult charge and reset his energy because he's been outpacing the whole time. If they do that, they get the fast reset, they'd probably just cap second really quickly.
With an answer of their own, transcendence, keeping everyone alive on the side of France. Grabbed on side for Poco. There's no one in position for the eat. Smex is too far away, but they're holding on to it regardless. They know they've got time. It's in their favor. 50 seconds remaining for Team UK to cap this checkpoint. They may have to look at doing this in overtime. They can keep Christopher alive. Protect the barrier, give him the charge away. But Ben Best and
They're able to kill them without using Grav and without the trance coming out, so it's a big fight win for them because then they can like bait them out right here. Grab super early, get the trance out.
Also their name. This is going to be a very scrappy fight when you look at Poco, who is so resiliently held onto that Graviton Surge in the last fight. Didn't use it, had confidence in his team, and now they may well be rewarded with a fantastic hold on Blizzard Worlds.
A lot of potential here. If Oko wants to use the ult now, it's eaten up by Smek. That's the window of opportunity.
He waits a little bit too, so they need to be careful with their grabs here. I think the window that they want is when the Rhine is right here, you grab, and then you suck the Rhine basically into it. Or once the Rhine and like members have already passed like this plane right here, then you look to grab on this wall. You don't want to have it so you have the angle where the D.Va can peek out and actually shoot you. You want to have it so whenever they're crossing, you look to shoot it into the wall that they can't eat it. So you'd either shoot it right here, or you'd make the rotation. Like once the D.Va's already this far out, you can't go for the grab anymore. You'd wait till you turn the next corner and go for it.
That's the window of opportunity the UK needs, but they've got 15 seconds to touch the point. They need to move fast and cut through France. They're not letting them get anywhere. They might have to send one member off. Graviton surge, pulling them together. Sound barrier pops with the self-destruct goes
Cruz is on point.
Hide behind it. Cruz moving the point. Keep them busy. Move the rest of them forward.
So it looks like at this situation, France just like lost, or UK lost because of their their positioning right now. Like Cruz has to touch the point. There's 3 members right here. It looks like France is just gonna be able to like group and just walk on someone and kill them, but their focus actually isn't that good. They have like huge beat advantage, but they just let it wear off, and then it basically becomes an even fight again.
They've managed to get themselves a couple of opening kills. They need to break this chokehold coming out of Team France, and they will slaughter their way
But
through this lineup.
it's again, they keep Poco alive long enough.
Onto that Graviton surge. They will have time to
They open with grab every single fight,
but half their members are still down
so they're able to just rotate them so much faster.
early on there. But
They got staggered respawn, so they weren't able to come back.
1.5 minutes to get themselves towards the very end of Blizzard World. It's definitely a tall order. It may be a mistimed ultimate coming out of Smex early on there, but we'll get it back at least immediately. The counter grab comes out because they know there is no defense matrix.
Poor timing on the charge. Kid was able to stay alive with a protected back.
There's not a lot they can do. They came out and they wanted this fight out in the open,
Towards the very
but they are actually at an armor disadvantage right now, so Mikey A used his armor late, so everyone has fat armor on them. And
end of Blizzard World. It's definitely
these trades where they're split up like this is actually super good for the UK, because now you can see members are not behind the Rhine shield.
maybe a mistimed ultimate.
So Nika takes like a ton of damage right here, and so they have to get zoned off. Soon is now low because he's been taking poke damage and he isn't able to walk up. So this grab from Poco, yes, it's okay, but because the members are so low, they don't actually have the sustain to match.
Protected barrier and they take out them best. But look at this. France going to be a huge spawn disadvantage. If UK can just trade kills, they're going to win up this fight naturally and get the payload back in motion. That's a D-Mech coming out. Kid's got it in the Graviton surge, pulls them together. That's a white.
And it's really bad to pop armor into lost fights.
Into this final phase.
Bit of a mistiming there coming out of France. Ben Best going now meant there was no shield to keep the front line protected. And the D.Va with defense matrix, she can only do so much to keep those supports alive. So another wipe for the UK.
There might be one fight where Soon gets ult here, but Mikey A is probably just going to be able to outpace him.
From Christopher, the absolute mad lad, trying to put the team of UK on his back and press.
But they're able to focus him first.
Shatter should win them this fight.
One of the first 6-man shatters we have seen across the whole weekend. Momentum is such a huge player in these games, and the UK are streaming in towards this 3rd point. France have still got a couple of ultimates to play with, but there's even more on the side.
They're getting these fast fights. That's exactly what they need. They're slowing Poco down.
You've got a self-destruct and Chris with an ult potentially again.
They grab them. They aren't able to touch. Yep. Okay.
Way, but to these this is very 5-0.
It does not bode well.
Won't be a 4-0 regardless, quite possibly.
Well, France could potentially win this and take the 4-0 still. It's still open, Des. All we know is Christopher is a liar.
It's not a 4-0 Christopher's way, which is what he thought was going to happen.
Yes. Well, it's definitely not been easy for either side so far, and hopefully it may...
So there's different pathing here. Before it was France was positioned here, UK was over here, and so the Zen doesn't get as much of an advantage on the offense, but now that they've mirrored sides, it's actually better for France to go this way, because the Zen can play further back here, and then get more of a sight line to shoot into the point, where if you are playing on the right as offense, your Zen doesn't actually get that big of an advantage. There's nowhere for him really to stand and poke in.
To the point, wanna tippy-tappy, dip their toes in the paddling
So I think the positioning on the left side's always better for the offense.
Can't fully dive in soon, go very down low, and he's still gonna survive. Getting away, falling back, gives France a reason to pause.
Nico very low here off the side as well. He was in
They're able to reset. This is another, like, the target focus from France is just so good
Dip their toes.
with the Zarya.
Yes. Well, it's definitely not been easy for either side so far, and hopefully it maintains that way.
Can see the poke. Poco's 20, Kib's 8.
As France moving on to the point, wanna tippy tappy dip their toes in the paddling pool. UK.
He's able to beam the D.Va as he's come in. Like, they trade beams on the D.Va, but Poco's just at such a higher amount of ult charge because he's getting the much larger right clicks.
Can't fully dive in soon, go very down low, and he's
I think Kib, at this situation, there was actually like a big mass of people standing right here, but he had to reload whenever they were coming in. So I think Poco's just having better ammo management and then higher energy as well.
pause.
Nico very low here off the side as well. He was in the grip straight.
Situation when he's able to walk up, he's got high energy.
Maytag's strung up, Smex got a D-Mex, throwing in the Graviton Surge with no main shield. It's going to cause support ultimates to come out. Sound barrier is the answer for Team UK. Boombox is about to get the Transcendence as well, but France have already used those. They need to retake this point. They're pushing him back, and I think France are in retreat. They didn't get that first tick, and they're having to rotate around the point as the UK are cleaning up the scraps.
You've got to give huge amounts of credit to Poco there. He had his ultimate online within 45 seconds while Kib was still sat at 60%. Doing huge work, although the key player and all that was Boombox.
There's going to be able to be an ult trade here for France where they might be able to beat and survive and then build up the rally from soon before they're able to get the before UK is able to get any ult charges up or support ults for the Grav. But they actually have good positioning here.
Look at that. Look at the set play from the UK. They've got a Graviton Surge, pull it straight in. Multiple members taken out.
It's exactly what they needed to do with the fight on the pylon. Have Kib hide, get the Grav, speed into them, because they have the energy advantage on Zarya, they'll have the positional advantage.
Too worried about this though, because they've almost got that historic combo we have seen all weekend of the self-destruct with the Graviton Surge. It's exactly what the UK just unrolled onto them. They could try and make the same thing happen, and just in case they need the added security, they've got every single other ult online essentially. That's 6 ult critical mass. That's what you build up towards if things are looking a bit shaky. In France, they aren't panicked, they're taking their time to keep that composure and go for it.
UK want to take the fight soon, and they got no support ultimates. Boombox is about to get that Transcendence. It could be huge. Earthshadow available for Christopher, but Wins has already taken him out.
They go very aggressive here, but the problem is they're going to get ult outpaced. So the understanding is they need to make a play to give themselves a chance to actually like win this fight because they're not going to be able to win the long fight. But the problem is if they use their speed as early as they do and no one ends up falling, then they're going to not have that amp speed boost as they're trying to rotate away. So they're going to use it early on here. It's going to be like a second. They try to go in and engage, but France still has theirs. So as soon as this engage doesn't work, then they're going to be able to like be chased and they're not going to have that same speed to get out. So you can see Mikey A is just getting like focused really hard here, and then Christopher. It's really hard to decide like what you're actually going to do there. So there's no real good answer. They're most likely going to lose it. They really had to make sure that they got the trade there that they needed, though.
I don't think they have, because the UK is about to take it back to them. They're going to miss one person. The UK
But not using anything and baiting ults out can work for them where they do this re-engage here.
that rally, try and give them that extra edge in this fight, because soon doesn't have it available to him. Shaq is going to land. Best finds multiple members, but there's the Transcendence from Boombox to keep him alive. Nico still going to find Cruz with that self-destruct. They are one support down. The French train keeps on rolling.
Like you were saying with Boombox, great predictive on the back of that one. It didn't matter though, you might have that Transcendence.
Yeah, the problem is there's trading ult economy advantages.
Steam train from rolling into the station, and that station is called London. UK get rolled over, and France get this payload moving.
Another fight still to come out of the UK to hold this one away. Few ornaments thrown in by France. They've still got a defensive, and the Graviton Surge are about to have the rally come up for soon as well. Team UK sitting on more. Gonna throw that Graviton Surge in from Poco.
So I think Kib got overconfident here, where he assumed. So it's actually a bit of a mind game here. So Kib's taking the high ground. It looks like it's just a one-on-one where they're basically like, hey, I'm Kib. I have the advantage because my team's backing me up soon. I see the amount of people you have on the cart. I can force you off the high ground. Poco gets forced off the high ground. I feel like it's just a bait where it's super mind-gamey. Kib feels like he has the advantage because his team's all taking the high ground. They're taking space up with him. Cruz is with him. But there's no D.Va there yet. He sees the D.Va in the distance. There's no way to, like, for the grab to be canceled. He grabs him up in there. He uses self-shield, but there's no sustain to keep him alive. So he gets killed super early. There's no grab anymore. France is able to run up. I think versus UK, they're going to need to shore up a lot of their Zarya weaknesses if they're going to keep playing this. Because Kib struggles sometimes, it seems like, against veteran Zaryas like Poco, who really know their windows and they can really bait.
And this is the beauty about maximizing return on investment with an ultimate. Poco caught Kib with his Graviton Surge, and to anyone else watching, you probably think, well, he caught one, wasn't really a great grab, but it's what they do after that in that 6 versus 5 situation where you can push forward and punish members. Graviton Surge, there it is.
This shouldn't happen. Like, you should never be able to shoot grab from this far away into a D.Va that's standing out in the open. Like, that D.Va should 100% eat that ult.
Graviton Surge, there it is. A full team is available as well as the Transcendent self-destruct into the back line. Christopher trying to block. Here comes the grab from the UK. Counter it with the self-destruct open. No one's going to die still. But here's a shatter. Ben Best locked up by Christopher. He's going to go down to Nico regardless. And soon
They literally trade equally, but this is what's happened every single time. If France does it first, Poco's going to have more ult charge. He's going to be able to outpace. Kib actually did pretty good about like running out of the fight though with his energy and getting right clicks on members, but he's still getting outpaced.
Christopher gets their sound barrier, pushes them out of the door. He's going down low. Where's the healing coming out to keep him alive? He's going to get knocked out at this rate, but they're not touching the point. Kib has to move forward. Nico's taken out. Christopher self-destruct. Not being used yet. Transcendence on the point. They're trying to clear them out. Graviton pulls them together. Kib's going to go down, and the rest of the UK are locked up. They're on French roster to take him out.
All right.
Both sides to keep his team alive.
Oh, there's some UK defense. Actually, gonna see something different, but not yet.
Poco is expecting, but UK taking a similar route as they did last time. They kind of expect the forward hold from France. Still taking it quite slow.
They're being safer, not taking as much poke.
Do not need to move relatively quick. 35 seconds left means that this engagement is going to start sooner rather than later.
They're being smarter, taking the longer sight lines on the left. They needed to be doing that before.
This time they have no ultimates to play with, which is what they need to be wary of. But keep an eye on the ultimate bars on both sides. Poco already at 50%.
Nico actually took a lot of damage here early on. He needed to be playing like much safer because he ends up losing a suit here too soon.
That might be a big moment for the UK. They can just find more. They need to open up the floodgates and let the water flow through. With no defense matrix, they're going to take a beating. As Christopher throws the flame strike through to kill Ben Best, and Mikey A's going to follow up. They're going to get the cap.
Part of keeping the suit up is being able to eat those crucial right clicks. Because you need to eat the fire strikes and right clicks basically, and then being able to eat those will like enable or disable the other Zarya from having as much effectiveness. Especially in situations where they were like all grouped up like that, you can like take one big right click from Zarya and you can just lose a fight. Kib again overcommits. I know he wants to build his grab here, but this literally happened on the end of second to lose it. Where he's overcommitting. Maybe they don't assume Poco has grab here, but Poco's been outpacing him every single fight, so he needs to assume that Poco probably has it. You're actually not safe in these trances either. The assumption is we have trance, we can live, because we'll have Rhine Shield and such, but they have the Discord advantage, so if they see your self shield come out, you can get discorded and die in the grab. Right in front, Ben Best throws the shadow, not going to be found soon. Isolated, they can't kill him. Shadow from Christopher finds multiple members, but there's a self-destruct on the payload. Yeah, they waited for the beat to run out, and then they just walk up with their own beat, and they'll win.
A big risk going for a play like
Good to see something different finally.
Let's get Kib on his Genji. Let's get Mikey A on the Sombra. And let these tanks dive onto the back line of France, see if we can pull them apart.
they fully expect France to
So actually, I didn't notice this here. Is Boombox on another hero? Hold on. Never mind. I thought Smack scouted it super early. I was wrong.
to hold against this front line, and the fact actually France have recognized, said, you know what, you guys are playing dive. We know that you can't change from this composition. We're going to go back and change things up if we need to.
See what they make of the adaptations. See what the optimal composition is for the French. Sending Poco back to go.
France did super good here. This is exactly what you want to pick. Against this dive, your Zarya is going to get no energy. She's going to be completely useless. You play Roadhog, you cancel out the dive on someone. You swap the Zen, because you don't need as much burst damage, you need that sustain.
Moira, you take it here because you basically have a 6-0 dive. You all go in together. Poco on the Roadhog means they can yank members off the high ground. Or
You can't do this if you're Christopher. As soon as they swap the Roadhog, if they're playing Zarya, this is a fine jump, because you'll probably just get Brig stunned and then maybe run out a bit, but you open up a window for your TPS.
playing in relative safety.
But against the Roadhog and the Diva, you need to be super careful, because you can get in the situation where you fall, and then you're going to get blasted by both the shotguns.
Doesn't matter because Ben Best will get the kill. Now they move forward. Christopher caught out of position. They've got themselves no shield. This could be lethal soon. Taking out Cruz. Smek's going down low. Going to get a DMAC. There's no one from the UK in a position to contest as they're falling by the wayside. Kim, dash out of there, my friend. You're not going to be able to hold the point. You can only hope to hold their progress.
That's all they can hope for here. This animation of the payload coming out of the gates may work into their favor, but the French, they're going to probably move forward here, take a bit of an aggressive.
You guys have to hold so close. I don't know exactly what they do.
In towards the zone here. Ben Best holding the archway, making sure they know what's coming at them.
Soon gets caught right here playing too aggressive, trying to scout out in the open.
He's going to be taken out, so they have that man advantage for the next fight. Poco's taking a nap. Someone needs to touch. Smex flies through the back. There's a pass through, allows the rest of his team to get there. So they've set up that first defense. It's all about how long they can hold it.
They've got a chain now for a solid 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the French have got their own ultimates coming online. Looking at Kip here, known for his Genji play. This is the time to show us what you're made of.
France can wait for a hook, or they can just put bodies on the point, force UK to touch the point, and then just like allow Ben to just build his ult up while he gets beamed. Which is exactly what they're doing. He's just able to swing.
They have to take cover. Self-destruct coming in from Spec. EMP. Dragon Blade. Kip finds wind. Spec's going to blow up Ben Best. Wants to get Unco. Takes the slash. Will find that second kill. The UK are still in this. They've got more.
I think any ult trading is in France's favor, because like the UK will always overcommit here regardless of the fight, just because they have to use ults to maintain it. So France just trades a little bit less, and they'll always win out.
Throwing those hands around, trying to buy more time. Poco misses the hook, but he has the whole hog. He can clear the space. He can clear it all out. They're putting the shield down. Nico gets a DMAC and a kill. Super